Hello and salam sehati sejiwa. Taiwan's parliament has become the first in Asia to legalize same-sex marriage following a vote on Friday. In 2017, the island's constitutional court ruled that same-sex couples had the right to legally marry. Parliament was given a 2-year deadline and was required to pass the changes by 24th May. Lawmakers debated 3 different bills to legalize same-sex unions. The government's bill, the most progressive of the 3, was passed. Hundreds of gay rights supporters gathered in the rain outside the parliament building in the capital, Taipei, to await the landmark ruling. There were shouts of joy and some tearful embraces as the result was announced. The government's bill, the only one to offer limited adoption rights, was passed by 66 to 27 votes, backed by the lawmakers from the majority Democratic Progressive Party. It will take effect after Taiwan's President Tsai Ing-wen passes it into law. A state-aligned Saudi newspaper is calling for surgical U.S. strikes in retaliation against alleged threats from Iran. The Arab News published an editorial in English on Thursday, arguing that after incidents this week against Saudi energy targets, the next logical steps should be surgical strikes. The editorial says U.S. airstrikes in Syria, when the government there was suspected of using chemical weapons against civilians, set a precedent. It added that it is clear that U.S. sanctions are not sending the right message, that they must be hit hard in reference to Iran without elaborating on what specific targets should be struck. The newspaper's publisher is the Saudi Research and Marketing Group, a company that had long been chaired by various sons of King Salman into 2014 and is regarded as reflecting official position. Iran's Foreign Minister Javad Zarif traveled Friday to China on his Asian tour aimed at keeping world market open to Tehran amid an intense sanctions campaign from the U.S. as tensions across the Persian Gulf remain high. On Friday, Zarif arrived in Beijing to speak to his Chinese counterpart. China was one of the signatories on Iran's 2015 nuclear deal with world powers, which saw it limit its enrichment of uranium in exchange for the lifting of crushing economic sanctions. According to a report by the state-run IRNA news agency, Zarif said the international community has mainly made statements instead of saving the deal, adding that economic relations with Iran should be normalized, as this is what the deal clearly addresses. Iran recently said it would resume enriching uranium at higher levels if a new nuclear deal is not reached with Europe by July 7th. That would potentially bring it closer to being able to develop a nuclear weapon, something Iran insists it has never sought. That's all for me. I'm Mano Ruben. Anytime, anywhere.